So the other thing that we want to do is we want to figure out is if you have a special location in there that kind of is a memorable one. So many places and things have this memorable locations, and they're often, if it's made into a movie, it's kind of on there. So you think about like in Ready Player One, this like video arcade is a great one, or Harry Potter, you think about Diagon Alley, the treehouse in Magic Treehouse, like the city center in Hunger Games.
Treehouse and Magic Treehouse.
It's a neat one, right? Like the hidden cave in Moana and Antonio's room in Encanto, right? Those are all like special places. So I want all of you to think about what is a special location in another like sort of movie or book or television show that you like, something that you remember very well, a special location behind it. And so let's share what your favorite ones are. So Quinn, is there something that you have? You want to start with a special location in another book or movie or TV show that you really like?
Well,
and it can't be the same movie as your main inspiration. So it can't be from Moana. That's important
there's
too.
Kind of like this cave in My Little Pony, and in there is like what powers all the harmony, which is the tree of harmony, where the elements of harmony are, and they like protect everywhere and the tree of harmony like keeps everything growing healthy and well, so it doesn't get overgrown or not grown enough.
Perfect. So that's a good example. So Quinn likes this idea of this cave with this tree in it, this sort of magical tree cave, which is great. So we're going to start with that, and then we're going to talk about our twist on that one as well. So Ethan, what's yours? What's a sort of a non-thing from Game of Thrones that you really like? Ooh, I like Count Olaf's house, by the way. That's a good one right there, JC. I like it. What about you, Ethan? You got one that you think is interesting?
I was thinking of like the Avengers Tower being like this iconic, like just in the middle of this, New York City. You have like this giant A, and it's like the beacon of hope.
Perfect. So now what you want to do with this one is you want to take that place and you want to bring it into your world, but you make it unique a little bit. So for you, Ethan, you don't want to make Avengers Tower. You want to make this tower that fits into your world behind it. Or Quinn, you want to take this magical cave with a tree in it and fit it somewhere into your world or island. So how would you do that? How would you make it different than in that one, but you make it on your place?
I'm going to make it a palm tree.
Palm tree?
A magic palm tree.
I like it.
With magic coconuts.
It's good. So is it going to be a cave, or is it going to be kind of like could it be a cove or something like a little different?
A cove.
A cove with a magic palm tree. There we go. I like it. So put that one down. There's a special place. So someplace in this world, there's going to be this sort of special place that's this cove that Quinn has. You're going to sort of basically have this place from it. Ooh, I like Casita's a good one too. So Casita has a place in there. Landis from the Keeper of the Lost Cities. All these are really good ones, these unique places. So how would you make your castle or your Avengers Tower in kind of more of the dragon, world, Ethan?
I think instead of like a giant A, it'll be like a dragon skull, and it's going to be like Dragon Skull Mountain. And so that's going to be where they, the leaders of the dragon leaders live.
They could have secret meetings in there.
Ooh,
yeah.
Good. It's a place where they convene for their secret meetings. Maybe that's where the ritual takes place too, Ethan. The special dragon ritual you talked about.
Yeah.
Hey, what was mine about?
Yours was going to be, it was a cove where there's a palm, like a kind of a enchanted palm tree of some sort. I like it. So the other thing that you want to do is oftentimes then you want to tie that special location to one of the rules. So there has to be one of these rules, either a positive rule or a negative rule. You want to tie that special location. So Ethan, you've got this sort of special rule where, kind of this sort of thing about immortality and sort of these things where you can't touch this sort of thing. So how does that tie into this special location in one way?
So I think that the mountain is like the entrance to like the source of power in that world. And so they're like gatekeeping the entrance. And the rule is that like no one's allowed in there except for like the leader dragon.
Perfect. So Quinn, what about you? So take a look up here for just a second. How does this cove with this enchanted palm tree tie into kind of the rule that nobody new can come to the island? Is there anything kind of special about that kind of cove and that palm tree?
Well, the palm tree, every time a baby, every time someone gets old enough, they drink the juice from that, and it gives them, so they always speak Spanish, and somebody can track them if they're trying to speak a different language.
Cool. Okay, so there's a special there's a power in that, like the coconut water or something like that, right? That comes from that one. It's good. See how these cool little connections happen. It's really interesting to see when you think about how it fits together. Like, and that's kind of what we did, Ethan. You pull from interesting things behind it, and suddenly your world has this like richness and this depth from like different things. Like you've got, you know, Avengers and Game of Thrones and dragons. Like it kind of pulls stuff together in some cool ways.
Right. I mean, the best stories have those like connections, right? So it's cool that you can be inspired by them.
Yep. I love it. I love it. So here's the sort of summary, a little bit of this one. So we got our first 3 parts here. So this is kind of what we want you to go do today. So we'll start with is we're going to talk about, again, what sort of the inspired world with this twist on it. So what is that kind of, you know, when you can explain it to someone, it's like Hogwarts, but in this case, you know, you write magic with a quill, not with a wand, or, you know, it's like Game of Thrones, but there's immortality or whatever it might be. So you want to think about that one. And then you want to figure out what are some of the key rules, what's forbidden, and also kind of what are the traditions that celebrate kind of the other side of it. Where did the history happen? And the last thing is we want to identify a special location, something that's sort of different and unique behind it. And that's really, really important here. So this kind of thing you have it. So like, I like Kate's the pristine city. That's a powerful, special location that kind of, you know, again, this is where all the magic sort of happens behind it. So that's what we're starting with. We're starting with kind of our, like these kind of things behind it.